Hello and welcome. So, if you remember, yesterday we learned about different password policies, account policies, and today we will learn about some other policies too. So, let's get started. I will log into my domain controller that I have for my San Francisco site, and let me quickly log in. Once I'm logged in, we will go into the group policy management console, which you can find under this administrative tools. And in here, we have group policy management. Once you open group policy management, you will be able to see your domain name under the forest, and then you have domains, you have sites, and you have group policy settings. So if I expand this, um, if I try to expand this kd.local, you can see that yesterday we learned about this default domain policy, and this is the default policy which is linked to your domain name, which is kd.local. Anything that you change here will be applied to all your objects. If it's user policy, it will be applied to users. If it's computer policy, it will be applied to computers. So if I right click and click on edit, you can see that I have computer configuration, user configuration. So if you want to apply computer policy, you can go with this one. And if you want to apply a user setting or user configuration, you can go with this one. So if you remember yesterday, what we did was we actually went into different password policies, and the password policies were something that we configured, and which was under Windows settings, security settings. So on the security settings, yesterday we learned about this account policies, and we saw password policy, we saw account lockout policy. If I click on local policy today, let's see what are these local policies. The very first policy is called audit policy. Audit policy is very important for an organization to have. This is something important because if you have audit policy, you will be able to see who logged in, who logged off, and you can see what is going on in a computer. Okay, for example, a user comes to you and say, hey, you know what, I think someone logged into my computer, right? Someone comes in and says, hey, you know what, someone may logged in to my computer. Can you please check who logged in and what time someone was logged into my PC? If you have these audit policy turned on, you can basically see all the logs of different activities. All right, different activities. All right, so let's get started. Audit account login, logon events. So we want to see all logon events. Who logged in? Who logged off? I mean, who logged in? Log on when you log into a computer. Do you want to see the success or you want to see the failure? Right? We want to see the both. Let's just say someone comes in your computer and tries to log in, and he is not able to log in. That is called what? Failure. Fail. If someone is able to log in, that is called success. So we want to audit both. We want to see both. Press OK. Audit account management. Account management, if you are doing what? If you're managing the account. A user account or group is created, changed, or deleted. A user account is renamed, disabled, or enabled. A password is set or changed. If you enable this, what will happen? If you delete a user, if you create a user, if you rename a user, if you reset a password, it will all be audited. It will all be logged, right? It will all be logged, correct? We want to see both. Audit directory service access. We want to see who accessed our Active Directory. If someone tries to access the Active Directory domain controller or Active Directory users and computer, we want to see that. We want to see the failure, we want to see the success, both of them. Now, if someone tries to access the Active Directory services, it will do what? It will audit. It will log it for us. Audit logon events. If someone try to log in, do what? Audit. Both success and failure. So if you click on explain, the security setting determines whether the OS audits each instance of user attempting to log on or to log off this computer. So if someone tries to log in or log off, like multiple users try to log in or log off to a computer, it will do what? It will audit. Audit object access. If someone tries to access an object, audit both of them. Audit both of them, right? If someone tries to access an object, do what? Audit that. And it will do what? It will do the success and failure, both of them. Audit policy change. If someone tries to change a policy, what policy? Audit policy, account policy, any policy, like the policy here. If someone comes and tries to change something in account policy, let's just say you remember yesterday we set the policy that 5 remember password. If someone goes and try to change it, you remember the length of password we set yesterday? It was what? 12. If someone tries to change it, it will log it. Success and failure, both of them. Audit privilege use. If someone logs into your computer and tries to uninstall, install, and do things that requires administrative privilege, it will log it. So let's just say someone logins to computer of Kawa and he uses the administrator password to uninstall or install a software or do anything else. That is the job of administrator. It will do what? It will log it. Audit process tracking. Let's see what is that. Process creation, process termination, handle duplication, instant object access. So let's just say when I right click on task manager, I click on more details. In here you will see I have multiple processes running. If someone tries to right click and terminate a process like end task, right? Someone tries to say end task, what it will do? It will audit both failure and success. Audit system events. All the events. For example, someone tries to change the time of a computer, right? Someone tries to change the security settings of your computer. It will audit that. If someone tries to change the setting of a computer, it will audit all those settings. So we are auditing everything. We are auditing everything. Alright, so let's test it. How do we test it? We go into our user account, which we created yesterday. I don't know what was the password. Okay, I forgot the password. Let's reset it. In order to reset, I will go to Active Directory users and computers, and once I am there, I will go into the username and I will reset it from there. Alright, so this is the user. We will right click on it and we will say reset password, and I will set the password. Okay. Okay, the password is changed. Let's log in now and we will test our policies. So the very first thing, how do we see that the policy which we created is applied in this computer? Let's see that. So if you go to CMD, one of the commands that we always use is called gp update slash force. What is gp update? GP update means group policy update. It means update my group policy. Slash force mean I want to force it so that it will update the policy. Now you see it's updating the policy. This is a manual way. This is a manual way to go ask domain controller for the policies. This is a manual way. Sometimes when your policy is not applying, you can use gp update slash force. If the policy is not applying, gp update slash force. How do I see if the policy is applied? gp result space minus r. gp result space minus r, press enter. This will now tell me the policies. If I go up, you can see that it is telling me user settings is this. The following GPO were not applied because they were filtered out. Okay, this was not applied. Applied group policy NA, it is not showing. Okay, what does it mean? Is it applied or not? So now here is another way. If I go to start and type rsop.msc, rsop.msc, this also shows all the policies applied to this computer through the domain controller. It is saying access denied because Ali Mohammed is not administrator. That's why. So if I go here, you can see that security settings, security levels, additional rules. These are different policies that it is showing that it is applied. Now, I cannot find anything here. If you see, I cannot actually find anything here. I don't see those policies here. I'm not seeing any policies here. So let's just do rsop.msc, but this time I will right click and say run as administrator. Okay, So it will do what? It will run it as administrator for me. Now see, I didn't get access denied because before my account Ali Mohammed was not administrator. That is why I wasn't getting those settings. You see, now I have the computer settings too. Security settings, local policy, audit policy. It's applied. You see, it's applied. You can see that I am right now on desktop computer, and this is RSOP. RSOP means resultant set of policies. You see, all of these which I applied, success, failure, success, failure. How about password policy? You remember yesterday we set 12 character, all these policies we set yesterday. All of them is now downloaded here. This computer has all the policies from the server. These policies we applied it here, but it's applied here because this is the object in Active Directory. So we are good. That's how you see if the policy is applied or not. Whenever you want to see if the policy is applied or not, that's how you see it. That's how you verify. That's how you double check. Correct? Once you're done, let's test it. If I go to event, now how do we see if the auditing is working? So we set policy for auditing. We said audit this, audit that, audit privilege, audit logon, audit them. How do we see it now? When you go to start menu and you type event viewer, you will see this event viewer. Click on it. Event viewer is where you see all the logs for the computer. If you click on Windows log, if you click on security, access denied. Why? Because Ali Mohammed is not administrator. Let's do it. Right click, run as administrator. Okay, run as administrator. Okay, now it should work. If I go here, Windows log, security. See here, audit success, audit failure, audit failure. If you double click here, it is telling you the Windows filtering platform has blocked a packet. If you come down, it says it was coming in. Okay, from where it was coming in, it was simply telling you everything. So it is telling you all the different logon name was security, and if you come here, you can see different. You see, a process has exited. If you remember, we set up a process, right? Process policy 2. If you go up, you can see that I have different kind of policies, different kind of logon events. See, all of them are being logged. It is logging in all the different things. It is logging in all the different things. If you go down, you can see that it is basically giving us all the details. It is telling us all different details. If I double click here, you can see Ali Mohammed giving us all the different information. If I click on application, it will tell me all the details about the application. If I click on system, it will tell me all the information about system. But this is where you can see all success and failures. Success and failures. Everything you can see here. You can track everything from here. So let's do this. Let's make a test. Let's make a test. We will go, we will sign out, and this time I will try to make how many failed attempts? 4, right? 4 failed attempts. I made how many failed attempts? 4. The fifth one is successful. If I go back here and type event viewer, right click, run as administrator, and click on Windows lock, security. Let's see if we have it. So you can see that how many logs. The log was generated 11 2 2021 at 8:38. 8:38. So let's go ahead and see. If I go down, you can see all the different details. Let's go down. Let's go down, down, down. A privileged service was called. Someone was trying to log in with privileged account, which with the administrator. Let's go down, 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 down. You see? An account was successfully logged on. See? An account was successfully logged on. If you go down, it is telling me all the details. New logged on. Who logged in? KT administrator. KT administrator. If you go down, 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 you can see more and more. A privileged service was called. So basically you can see that everything that we are doing, it is being audited. It is being added here. So you can see all those different things. An account failed to log on. Unknown user or bad password. You remember, I've typed the password wrong. I typed the password wrong. That's why it is telling me audit failure. Unknown username or password. That's why it failed. It is basically giving me all the information. It is giving me all the information. So that's how you can basically create audit policies, and that's how you can see those logs. Correct?